Do you guys ever feel like you're warming up, everything is great, and then you go to sing your songs and it just doesn't work? Or maybe you can sing your songs, but you're completely hopeless when you're warming up. We're gonna talk in this video about 4 major issues that I see people having when it comes to their singing practice and how to solve each of these systematically. My name's Kate. I'm a vocal coach who's classically trained, who traded the perfectionism around that classical era into authenticity. I found my authentic voice, I uncovered it, and this is what I help you guys to do on this channel. So this is about why you're not improving even with daily religious practice of singing. Okay, so the first thing that I see is that some people are just focused on warm-ups, just focused on the technical, but they're not actually really singing any songs. And then on the flip side, you have people who are only doing songs and not doing any warm-ups. And this creates a kind of disconnect. Because when we're warming up, what we want to be doing is training in all of the fundamentals, like how to posture your instrument, how to breathe, how to have nice resonance in your voice, how to fine-tune your vibrato, how to reach high notes, how to keep your low notes stable. All of those things we find within the realm of warming up. But if your warm-ups and your songs are not really connected, what ends up happening is that your voice is kind of disjointed. Like you're doing your warm-ups in one way and then you go to sing your repertoire and your voice kind of changes, like it sounds different. Like there's 2 things going on there. So what you want to do is you want to bridge the connection between the 2. And that means developing warm-ups around your songs so that that is all kind of part of the same voice. So all of the fundamentals that you're working on when you're doing warm-ups, that's what you want to bring in to your songs, into your repertoire. I did a video that goes into detail on this. I took the song Titanium, as was recommended by one of you guys, and just basically built a warm-up around the chorus, around the high notes, around that section that was difficult. So this is something that I definitely recommend doing with your songs and doing with your warming up. Connect the 2 together, turn your songs into warm-ups, to build the foundation that you're going to carry with you into your repertoire so that it's not like 2 singing voices. And that's part of the essence of finding your authentic voice. It's not suddenly changing timbres when you're going to sing a song or trying to sound so different stylistically. Like you want to sound like yourself throughout the whole thing. That's number 1. The second thing that I see is inconsistency. There's no discipline around training. You're relying on motivation and you're relying on your mood. I feel like warming up right now. I feel like singing a song right now. Or I'm going to wait till the motivation comes from the sky. Motivation is actually something that happens after movement. Like if you just stick with something, if you decide Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at this hour, I'm going to dedicate 30 minutes, 45 minutes to my vocal practice, that becomes your discipline and you don't have to wait for the motivation. Like motivation is kind of fleeting. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. Usually though, what is consistent is that when you start doing something based on the schedule that you've made through discipline, you follow through, then the motivation comes after. So you might be 5 minutes into it and suddenly you're like, oh, I'm actually motivated to go further with this today. So don't wait for something to drop from the sky. Be consistent. Another thing with inconsistency is that you're not really strategic about how you approach your sessions, your practice sessions. So you might be like, okay, I'm just going to sit down. I'm going to like find a YouTube video. I'm going to practice along with that. Oh, maybe I'll listen to this person. Maybe I'll just like put on some songs and sing along. Maybe I'll do this or that. But like the best way to be consistent is to say, okay, start with what is kind of problematic for you, but not super, super difficult. So like maybe, let's say you are pretty good with resonance, but you're not quite there yet. Like you don't feel like you've completely got it consistently over time. Start with that. Don't start with high notes. Start with something that's even more stripped back, even more basic, and say, okay, for this whole week, all of the exercises that I do are going to be focused around finding my resonance, nurturing that resonance, being consistent with my resonance. And then once you feel like you've kind of mastered that, repeat it a couple of times, and then, okay, I feel like I've got this now. Now I'm going to move on to vibrato. Now I'm going to move on to expanding my range. That's another thing with consistency is like actually track yourself. You can even keep a little journal and say, okay, for the month of October, I'm going to be working on vibrato or resonance. And I'm just going to schedule in the days that I'm going to be working on this. And I'm going to keep some notes. Today my voice felt tight. Today I really got it. Today the resonance was there. I felt this vibrato in a really natural way that I haven't felt before. How can I replicate that? Focus on the things that are working once you've kind of uncovered something, and then try and repeat it, try and find it again. So the third thing that I see around practice is ignoring the voice-body connection. So either you're treating the voice as this purely physical thing, this purely technical thing, or you're treating your voice as something that is purely abstract and out of your control. In truth, it's these things combined together. So what you want to do is try and master that physical first. Like when you go and sit down to practice, say, okay, I'm going to do Purby, which I talked about in another video. I'm going to make sure that my posture is good. I'm going to make sure that I'm relaxed in my body, in my mind. And I'm also going to breathe really well. Get in touch with my breath. I'm going to do a little half yawn. And I'm going to set up my instrument. This is the body part, at least the fundamental of the body part. Then, of course, you want to make sure you're not having vocal tension as you're singing. And you're going to want to monitor your body to make sure that that instrument stays in the same setup. And then what you're going to want to do is think about little abstract things that are going to help you to stay connected with your body, to keep the voice and body connected as you're singing. Let's say I want to do something around high notes. So I make sure that that whole thing is set up, the Purby, and then I can also use a little mental trick. One of them that I love for high notes is to imagine that your highest note is ascending from on top. So you're coming at it from above it rather than going up towards it. So let's try that little mind trick. Or I can think about it in another way, another little mind trick. That instead of this being a line that's going up a fifth, I'm going in a straight line, like I'm taking a little walk. So nice deep breath, half yawn. And then see what feels better. What makes more sense? What keeps your instrument aligned? Okay, so which of those two, for example, which of those two abstract tricks works to keep the integrity of the physical instrument? So these are the kind of things that you want to do, and you can do this for resonance, for vibrato, for anything that you want to focus on, for tone. You're going to want to find little abstract mind tricks that will somehow subconsciously connect your brain and your body and your voice, and all of it will stay in its right position for you to sing. And then the last thing, number 4, and this is something that I've been so guilty of, and I am pretty sure that many of you have been guilty of as well, is taking yourself too seriously when it comes to your voice, when it comes to practicing, when it comes to your progress. Is like all of those things are so serious, right? Like it feels so serious, it feels so important, and it is important, it is significant, it's something that you're working on. But at the same time, you don't want to suck all of the joy out of it. You still have to remember, what is your philosophy around music? Is your philosophy just to have fun? Is your philosophy to discover? Is your philosophy to take something from the universe and transmit it through your body and through your voice? Is your philosophy to create art around music? Is your philosophy, like, you have to kind of figure out why you do music in the first place. What is it that attracts you? And keep that in. Like for me, for example, singing and music, playing music are about authenticity of the individual. It's like, this is something that's just me, it's unique and it's authentic. And I want to convey that and share that with the world. It's also about emotional expression. It's about something kind of intangible that nothing else in the world touches. Music is something that's very different than anything else that people do, right? You have this combination of like mathematics, rhythm, emotion, language, tone. Both of your brain hemispheres are connected. Your soul is in there. Your emotions are in there. You're telling a story. You're telling a story melodically, verbally, all of these things. That's what music is about for me. It's like connecting with the human experience in a nutshell. For me, music is connecting with the human experience and sharing that connection. And then having other people who are listening connect with that experience. So it's like the individual experience and the collective experience of being human. So you want to identify that philosophy for yourself and then say, okay, when I come and do this, is that still there? Or am I losing the joy because I'm forgetting the philosophy and I'm only focused on technique? I'm only focused on perfection. I'm very stressed about it. I feel like I have to attain a certain level before I can do X, Y, Z. You have to figure out what it is. And then like once you figure out what it is for yourself, and once you remind yourself of that, like you could put something on your wall, music is connection, whatever you want. And then that could be something that you look at before you practice that can remind you like, hey, this is why I'm doing this. Maybe it's a gift that you've had since you were a child. Maybe it's something that's very, very pure and you want to come back to that purity and share it with the world. Those are the 4 things that I see people doing that I think could change into something that's like a physically, psychologically, and emotionally more healthy experience and more joyful experience. So this becomes also the overarching thing in your practice, is applying those different pillars, and then everything else kind of flows more. All of these things, if you follow these 4 steps, you're going to find yourself in more of a flow state. And when you're in a flow state, that's where the magic happens. That's when you're going to release the physical tension, the mental tension. That's when you're going to connect with your emotions, your soul. And that's where things are going to start working. So I hope that this helps you guys. My challenge to you is try this. Try these 4 steps over the next week. Let me know how it goes in the comments. Let me know if there's anything that you've discovered. Be curious. Be curious about what can happen if you change your framework for how you practice with your voice. I'll leave a video here that you guys can go check out, which is how to make an exercise out of a song. Hopefully that's going to be something that can help you. And the other video that I'm going to leave here is a complete comprehensive vocal warm-up video. So this is kind of a follow along. It's not super technical, but it's very gentle and we open up the range as we go through it. So it's just something that you guys can press play and you can sing along with and incorporate this as well if you'd like into your practice. Thank you guys so much.